It's the first time in a long time that I've actually felt joy, from winning this game, from just the way we played. It's just kind of a different place too, Buffalo, compared to some of the other places I've been to. So a lot of the guys, it's a tight knit group, I would say. A lot of the guys go out together. They hang around each other 24/7, and it truly shows up on the field. It truly does.
I remember Buffalo.
Hey, listen, a great example, right, of when your number's called being ready.
DFL Football 25.
Happy Victory Monday, Buffalo! Let's go, baby. Let's go. Come on. Come on now, Bills Mafia. Get in here. Welcome to the DFL Podcast, Episode 11. Episode extra fucking special. Bills take out the Chiefs 30-21. Oof. Oh, let me say it again. 30-21. Listen, people, anyone listening right now, I know it's probably late Tuesday or early Tuesday, real late Monday. You might be catching this, or early Tuesday. Podcast has to, we're getting that together. We're going to be adding video to this thing. It's going to be dropping at a much more suitable time for you in the future. Things are coming together, people. Be happy about that. But in the meantime, whenever you're listening to this, go ahead and just close your eyes right now. Take a deep breath in and enjoy, revel in the solace of a Bills victory over Kansas City. I'm serious. No, it's not our Super Bowl and all the bullshit they're saying on the Kansas City side, all the fans over there. Oh, yeah, congratulations. Like Kelsey with his little bullshit, sarcastic clap, Yeah, sure. But I'm telling you, this team feels different this year. So take it in, people. 9-2 for the first time since 1992. Take that in. Enjoy it. Okay? Football doesn't last that long, people. I hope you stick around for the duration of this one. It's fun. It was a fun conversation. I want to give a heads up real quick, though. As I mentioned, bringing you video soon. Might be doing live pods. Going to be coming soon. All right, reaction videos, highlight reactions with at least me. I'm not sure if I'll be joined by everyone or not, but in the meantime, what we're dealing with is what we're dealing with. And again, I got Tommy set up with some better audio. Unfortunately, his microphone was shot, and it's got some static on it, so I had to kind of limit some of his conversation and bring it in. I'm not sure how this is going to sound once it's fully mastered and put out there. You'll tell me. Leave a comment, comment, subscribe to the DFL podcast, and go ahead and leave a comment and say, dude, clean up Tommy's audio. It sounds like shit. You'll also hear Chucky's audio, because that motherfucker, he records from his apartment in Oakland, California, and of course, they're doing never-ending construction out there. So you got some, you got some surprise jackhammers coming in. Hey, people, listen, this shit keeps you on your toes. It's like a Bills game. All right, it's got to keep you on the edge of your seat, and we'll see what happens come playoffs, because this, hey, I'm gonna say it. It's different this year. Oh, Bill, you fool! You sound just like a Bills fan. You sound like a Buffalo Bills fan, man. Oh, this is the year. But listen, that game yesterday, 30-21. That 4th and 2 was MVP statement. You don't need me to tell you that, but enjoy it. I'll repeat it for you. That was an MVP play right there. MVP moment. Who else would you rather have? That's what I really want you to do is close your eyes and breathe in and be thankful that Josh Allen is your quarterback still and for the foreseeable future. He's just starting to peak, people, believe it or not. And that the team that's been assembled around him this year, I like it more than any previous. Am I a prisoner of the moment? Tell me in the comments. I don't know. But I'll tell you what. Let's listen to me, Tommy, and Chucky break down the game a little bit, talk about a couple other teams, and move on with our lives. All right, baby. The happy Victory Monday. Let's go. let's just calm down, you know. I told her, like, because she's like jumping around with the cape on and all that, you know. I tell her, you know, because this could be. I mean, right now too, when we're getting right going into that was shortly before the 4th and 2 that Allen took off on, wasn't it?
Well, it was on
I think that was like I think that was like
second down.
I think it was 2 plays before a second down, right? Yeah, and I'm just going and right where we were. Like, we need our line right now more than any other time in the game. We needed our line right there. Yeah. And they and yeah, man, they and when Dawkins got hurt, I go, man, I told my daughter, you know, all right, let's settle back, because this is when you really need, you know, our line to come through. And it was just, ouch, man. But thank God he got back up and he came in, and obviously the 4th and 2, man, that was an MVP moment.
I believe so.
Josh Allen MVP moment, man.
And what really made that good?
Good morning, dickheads.
No.
All right. Yeah, good morning, bud. Come on.
There he is.
That goes all south.
It's a beautiful life, man. You know, when the Bills beat the Chiefs, it's a regular season game, so hopefully we can do it in the playoffs next time, man. But I'm telling you,
I think so.
that run by Allen, like, you know, I love Jim Kelly, but, you know, it's safe to say, man, he's the best Bills quarterback that's ever put on the jersey, man.
I cannot disagree with that, man. That like that's what we were saying just as you were joining, man. We said that was truly an MVP moment, man. That was.
Well, I don't know if you guys saw it, but this morning he's the betting favorite for the MVP.
Absolutely, with Jackson losing. And I guess the argument really with Goff is just because that team is so ridiculous around him. So
that's going to be a challenge when we, you know, go to Detroit. But yeah, let's not get too far ahead, man. What have you guys already talked about here?
We just started talking, man. We really didn't even get into much of the game yet, man. That's basically all we've talked about. Was I basically held my breath when Dawkins went down for a minute there.
Well, let's start with Tommy. Tommy, what stood out to you the most, man?
Is our defense outplayed their defense, and our defense set the tone against the methodical and explosive Kansas City offense. I mean, all year long, people have been saying, you know, no matter what happens, with, you know, you do this or you do that to Kansas City, they just figure out another way to beat you. And I'm not taking anything away from Kansas. They're damn good and they're tough, you know, all across the board. But when everybody's saying this stuff, also remember who they beat. And some of them were very close games that they nearly lost. And I said, you know, people just aren't giving Buffalo's defense the credit. And they kept saying it. Kansas City's defense is the best. They've been keeping their opponents down and everything else. They've only allowed no more than 28 points. Well, shit, Buffalo's had 4 games where the opponents didn't get past 20. You know, so, I mean, you know, what are you telling me here? But anyway, just to get it over quick, our defense stood up to the test. They did what they had to do. They stayed on track. They had their turnovers. We capitalized on them. And that has to be said. In our offense, they weren't nervous. They weren't afraid of Kansas City's defense.
The only thing that drives me kind of nuts, though, too, is like you are going to obviously, and it's something that can't be denied, is the attitude of like, yeah, well, we've kind of been through this before. But I think this team that was on the field last night looks a lot different than in years past. Now, am I just a prisoner of the moment? You guys with me there? I mean, do you think they? I think they have.
Different.
They're just so much more complete, man.
Yeah.
I feel.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
yeah.
Which is crazy because I thought they were fairly complete in 2020.
Now, I don't know about you guys, but no, that kind of found impressive is that when Kansas City was double teaming or blocking in Amari Cooper, Allen didn't have a big problem. He was still finding Samuel. He was finding Knox. He was finding Sharik, okay?
Shakir.
Okay? He was still finding his weapons, right? But did you notice Buffalo took Hopkins right out of that game? They took him out of that game. He only had one pass, right?
What did he? Did he finish with one completion?
I think he had
One catch?
just the one.
No, he was 3 for 29.
Yeah, he was targeted at least 5 times, so I wasn't sure how many he caught.
Well,
I thought it was a
I
little
think
more
the
than
bigger
a couple more than
story,
one.
the bigger piece of that is that
Kelsey, yeah.
two receptions for 8
Yes.
yards.
Oh, I know, man.
I
That's
agree
beautiful.
with you, Chuck.
That's it.
Yeah.
They took him right out of the game.
Noah Gray though came in, and like Romo kept referencing too. Is he the best? In the league. The best tight end on the team. Because Kelsey's getting up there too.
But the thing is, Noel Gray, the Bills aren't,
Yeah.
they don't have a lot of film on him. I mean, it's always been Kelsey.
No.
They were more worried about
course.
Kelsey than this guy. All right, so yeah, he had his.
Yeah, meanwhile,
couple
he's over there
high
scoring.
moments, right? But up until yesterday, how often did you hear of Noel Gray?
Every time we play the Chiefs, man, and when he gets catches, not usually going off or having a day on us or nothing, but he gets catches and in other teams, and I've often wondered myself, like, why don't we hear his name more? Like, and outside of the game, because we hear it plenty in the game, usually for a few catches. I mean, I'm not saying he's some dynamic, crazy talent, but he's a threat that goes, I think and then he goes overlooked, I think, because he never gets spoken about. He's one of those guys, like wait, how many people were saying this week leading up to the game that, last week leading up to the game, that Dalton Kincaid is, Josh's favorite target, and without him, and they were really picking the Bills to lose because Kincaid is out. And I don't know if they watch Bills games or they keep up with anything. I mean, as much as I like Kincaid and everything, and he's a great player, they really haven't been connecting a lot this year, not nearly as much as anticipated. And it's not his number one target, really. Who's been getting the most targets, because it's been so spread out. I think it's Shakir.
Yeah, I think Shakir is Allen's safety blanket, man.
Exactly.
Before it was Cole
Yeah.
Beasley.
Yeah.
Then it kind of turned into Diggs.
Yeah, and I'm not saying to
I
wrap
think-
that around so I don't sound like a nut who just took that in a different direction. I'm just saying, I'm not saying Noah Gray is like Mahomes' safety blanket or anything, but I'm saying he's a name that you don't hear people saying, but yet he should be taken seriously too. This guy can. So anyway, yeah. Point is, we did take away from Kelsey though, man, which
Yes.
I'll take any day of the week.
And what I'm happy for is that Buffalo didn't overextend their passing attack to get Kansas City to totally focus on that. They kept the run game going just enough to keep that defense tight, to keep them up, because they're very good against the run. But you noticed when they opened up just a little bit, Allen was hitting. He was on. And he had a better game than Mahomes. I mean, Mahomes hit 11 different receivers and went for maybe 170, 180 yards passing?
Yeah, I think it was 172 or 192.
Something like that. And Allen had 200 and something yards.
This is 190.
190, yeah.
196.
Oh, 196.
Okay. I knew he didn't make 200.
Allen was 272,
And
I
Allen,
think.
yeah.
272 passing, 55 rushing, I believe.
Right.
Yeah.
So it goes to show you that by making them stay honest, it gave Buffalo the advantage on offense, which I think was very well played by Joe Brady. Very well designed. And I'm liking the defensive coordinator.
Brady played great against Spagnuolo, man.
He's got those guys playing hot. They're balling. And like you were saying, before Charlie got on, who's getting healthy? How much healthy are they going to be come with the game 12?
San Francisco and beyond, yeah.
How much healthier are they going to be?
Yeah. I feel like they're getting healthy at the right time. And yeah, go ahead, Chuck. You look like you got some more to say.
I think the biggest thing on the minds of Bills Mafia right now is potentially getting the number 1 seed, right, and having that bye week, the first round of the playoffs, man. Because we haven't had that since the 90s.
No,
that's the last time we had the bye. So that's going to be huge, man. That's one thing that this team has not had yet, and probably what they need the most, man. Because, it's a grind. And when teams play, week 16, 17, man, they're beat up. They're tired. And to go right into the playoffs and having to play right away versus not, I mean, you can make an argument. The Chiefs are, one of the best teams, one of the best dynasties maybe ever, right? But you can make the argument that having, being the only team in the conference to get a bye week, and then you come in and you play, in the next round, that is such an advantage, man. You can make the argument that that's why they made the Super Bowl the last 2 years.
Sure.
And, trying to make 3 in a row.
And if there's a way you can sew it up early enough to where you can rest your starters and, the end of the last couple games, last game of the year, you give Allen 2 weeks advantage.
Yeah, it's a tough road ahead, man. The Niners are 5. The Niners are 5-5, but the Niners are 5-5, but they're not an easy team to beat.
They are.
That's in Buffalo.
They are beat up though.
But then we got.
They don't have a bye, I don't think, right?
Yeah, but then we got Detroit on the road, and we got the Rams on the road. Like it's going to be a tough road ahead, man.
Absolutely, but I think there's no reason we don't have to lose. Maybe the Lions game, and then maybe if we can rest the starters at the end of the year and lose 2 more down the rest of the way. I think the team is that good enough to do that.
And this is no respect to the Lions by any means, because they've been having a hell of a season.
No respect
but the
or
most
disrespect?
impressive
They don't get no respect at all. No respect at all.
was last week when Goff threw for 5 interceptions and they still came back to win. That impressed me a lot more than yesterday's game, even though they put up 52 points. They did it against Jacksonville.
Yeah, they're a tough fucking squad, though, man. Yeah, I know. That team looked ridiculous. It's just so sad. Like it's like one of the best teams in the league, and one of the worst. I mean, the Jaguars. Here's no disrespect.
They don't get no respect at all.
Complete dysfunction. I think Doug Peterson's going to be gone. They're ridiculous, man. And weren't they playing Mac Jones? And I mean, come on.
Yeah.
And it's just.
That's what I say. It's so. I mean, but. Other than,
I'm not saying that the Lions aren't still great, but that wasn't that.
The Lions are having a hell of a season.
The more impressive win was last week.
Right, and so I'm thinking, if Buffalo can slow down their running attack a little bit, Goff isn't invincible,
Right.
And so, let's see how our defense steps up to them. In San Francisco...
Oh, I think we can take...
San Francisco is, they're another story, but... Hey, they're 5-5.
What, you're done talking about the Bills, man? Come on, Chucky, you got anything else, man? Want to go over the stats? Anything?
I don't know. Yeah, so it's just kind of weird, this whole 2 tight end situation. I think yesterday was, I don't want to, we're jumping into like some criticism. I got to.
Sounds like.
As excited as I am about yesterday, there's a couple critical points.
Sure. What are your criticisms then? Let's get into it.
One of them. Again, let me preface this with, I think McDermott had a great day of coaching.
But McDermott gets Chucky's approval, man. This should be stamped for like a T-shirt for him.
But I just don't get his bonehead challenges.
I know, man. That I didn't understand that either.
In a playoff game, that's gonna hurt you, man. That's gonna burn you. So just I want to get these couple of critical points out of the way, and then we could just, give all the praises, man.
Go ahead.
And all the flowers.
Let's do it.
But that bonehead challenge, I think in the playoffs, man, that can hurt you.
Yeah.
Losing a timeout, losing a challenge, because then after that, when you lose a challenge, you only get one more for the rest of the game.
Right.
And I think in overtime,
you might get one back, I believe, right?
But that's huge, man. In the playoffs, that's gonna be a big deal.
Sure.
And nobody had any understanding on why. Tom, you had in the text chat. I know you said that maybe upstairs somebody told him to do it, or
that's what I
John
think.
Perry.
I don't know, man. Yeah, but still, he's got the final say. He's got the veto power.
But
what did they see?
One thing I said it looked like is on the last time they showed it, and I haven't gone back to look at it today. Maybe I should. Was that when he caught it? Who caught that ball? Was that Hopkins?
No.
I don't know. I forget, but no, Worthy.
I think it was Hopkins.
All right, yeah. So what I think was Hopkins' right foot was down when he caught the ball, and then his left leg wasn't down yet, and it looked like on one replay that I saw that possibly on the one angle, it looked like it was possible that he hit his own foot and his left foot never actually touched the turf. It actually hit his leg and he like kind of stumbled out of bounds. Maybe that's what McDermott fucking saw here, because I have no idea either, guys. I don't know what to tell you. That's just like I said, there was one angle that showed it that it was like maybe this is what he's seeing, but other than that, I didn't have anything.
I think that's what Tony Romo said. He tripped over his own foot.
It's possible. And what if he did, and that wasn't overturned? Then what do you say about it? Is that bonehead decision or Vegas ball or what? What is that?
No.
If it was his own foot.
I still think the call itself came from upstairs, but Charlie's right. McDermott has the choice. Like, do I throw the flag or don't I? But if he has somebody telling him from upstairs, no, his foot didn't hit, and they're supposedly watching on a closer camera. He's
the only saving grace on that was that Cooper catch and the challenge that wasn't upheld, but Andy Reid had a fair chance. That was super close. So it's like, Reid, that was a good challenge.
Yeah, well,
which I wasn't surprised we lost ours.
And Amari made that happen because he had control before his foot had to come down. You know what I mean?
I heard him in the locker room after talking about that. Yeah. But Chucky has a point with that. I understand. Any more criticisms, man? Besides that coaching,
so I'm pulling for Tyler Bass, man. I'm going to continue to root for this guy. I'm going to continue to try to encourage other Bills fans to continue rooting for him. But man, what is the deal with missing all these extra points? Again, that is something that could kill us in the playoffs. Man.
That's true.
That could be the difference.
I can't.
I'm going to keep rooting for the guy.
I know.
I'm going to keep rooting for the guy.
I'm right there with you, man.
But that is big, man, and it's a concern. It's a concern.
And just it didn't kill us yesterday, but it was that the whole game that fucking point was just nagging at me, man.
And I
was
have
driving
a
me nuts
question
the whole
for
game,
you.
man.
When that happened, okay, I didn't see it myself, but when it happened, I saw the kick. What I'm talking about here is, and they said no good. I said to myself, come on, Bass. You know he's my favorite kicker.
Of course.
So I draft him every year. But anyway,
I know you're a Bass backer.
He's your favorite player?
After that kick happened, do you remember Jim Nance saying, "Yeah, kicks aren't reviewable"? He said, but that was so high. He goes, "Are they sure that was on the outside of that post? Or did it go over just on the inside? But it was so high, the officials couldn't tell."
Yeah, it wasn't real windy yesterday, though, man. And I want a kicker who's sailing the thing down the gut.
But I wish I would have saw a replay. They didn't show the replay.
I don't want any doubts on that. I know, I hear you. But the rookie was upstaging him on our turf. He didn't miss any. On Kansas City's side, the guy that just brought in because Bucker was.
I don't know if he's a rookie.
Maybe he wasn't a rookie.
Free agent.
Was he? Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, what's his name?
I never.
Yeah, they got him off the street.
Right. Yeah. So that guy comes in and he's driving him down the pipe, man.
Yeah, but.
Yeah, but what?
I know, but.
Is that a different distance?
But no. But what was his longest one? 48?
No. Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah, I think
it was 48 yards. His longest one.
Mm-hmm.
And Bass came back and hit a couple.
Yeah, he did. But like Chucky's point is, man, is that there's an unreliability factor, and in the playoffs, one missed point after can kill you in a game where it's runs and points are hard to come by, and so. Yeah, man. I root for the guy, but I do worry about him as well. Is that it? Kicking, coaching?
Yeah, I think so, man. I think that's it for the criticism.
That's a pretty damn good team, then, really, if you think about it.
Again, I kind of. Well, okay. So one thing I did want to talk about, the field goal of death, right? So McDermott made the right choice.
Yeah, he did
last night.
Yes,
and he didn't kick the field goal of death.
Right.
But again, man, my little critical hat comes back on, and I wonder in the playoffs, it's the same exact scenario.
Does he tighten up?
Because he tightens up in the playoffs. Does he kick the field goal in that situation? And if he does, what happens, man?
Yeah.
Mahomes and Reed get the ball back with 2 minutes or less. and a touchdown wins the game.
Right.
And how many times have those two been in that situation and they came back and won? And I hope, man, I hope and pray that if we're in that situation in the playoffs, whether it's a divisional round or the AFC Championship, I hope McDermott makes the right call, man. Because in the playoffs, he tightens up.
He does at times. Well, he has in the past. We can't argue that because we've seen it. Okay, but that's one point that was made on PFD today, was that when they came down to that, it was like the coaching staff for the Bills and the players were on the same page, and they're saying like, no, we've seen this movie before. We kick and you get a 5-point lead, and this guy gets the ball back with 2 minutes. You know?
Right, but does that change in the playoffs is what Chuck is asking man.
I think it does if it's against Kansas City. Maybe not necessarily against another team, but against
my
Kansas
question
City,
too, though, now.
I think it stays the same. I think.
Sure, but also, if McDermott makes that call, the right call in that same situation in the playoffs, and the other team is waiting for that and stops Allen, then is it still the right call, or do we go back? Do we put any blame? Do we go McDermott should have kicked the field goal there?
Well,
I won't. I definitely
won't.
Right, I wouldn't either, because to tell you the truth,
You'd say, well, at least we win for it, even though, because then then the team, then whoever we're playing gets the ball back, takes it down, and they only win by 2 points with a field goal. Where our defense could have stopped them if we had only had those 3 points on the board, they wouldn't have even gotten, they would have had to get a touchdown or whatever to win.
I think,
but now they win by 1.
Several,
you know what I mean?
Several teams in the league, you got to be aggressive. If it's the Steelers, kick the field goal.
Right.
Okay. Go up 5. Okay. Because the likelihood of Russell Wilson and Najee Harris scoring a touchdown in less than 2 minutes, they're not extremely low. Wilson, that guy he was the man. About 5-10 years ago. But now it's a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but against like the Chiefs, the Texans,
right.
Maybe the Lions.
Yeah.
Well, not maybe. Definitely the Lions.
Definitely the Lions.
Like any of
you
like
go
the
for every
really
touchdown you can
offenses,
against that team.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. But against maybe the Steelers or like teams that they don't have a guy, they don't have a great quarterback. That's when you kick the field goal. But if you're playing somebody on the other side of the field that they have a quarterback.
Yeah. You're playing the defending world champs. Yeah.
You got to go aggressive, man.
Yeah.
You can't kick that field goal.
I 100%.
I'm
board with you, man.
And that's what I'm saying. If they're playing the Chiefs, they go for it. They try to get the points because they know what could happen.
Well, we'll probably find out later this year, man, or next year. Probably find out in January.
Maybe. Now that the crown has fallen a little bit, or they slid a little off their throne, do you think this is going to make them more vulnerable to other teams? I mean, they have a tougher schedule coming up. They haven't played the Steelers yet. They still have to play Baltimore a second time.
Yeah, we don't.
Who, the Chiefs?
Yeah.
No, they don't play Baltimore.
They don't play Baltimore
second
twice.
time.
They don't play Baltimore. Aren't they in the same division?
No, they're not in the same division.
Oh, jeez.
No.
Oh my God!
I'll definitely work a good bit, some sort of movie clip or sound effect in on that piece right there, fellas.
The new phone book's here! The new phone book's here!
Yeah, that was a folly.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be
sorry, buddy.
I'm somebody now! Millions of people look at this book every day!
We should roast you on that one, man. We should give you a couple roasting.
I'm in print! Things are going to start happening to me now.
All right. Anyway, though, so you guys want to go a little? Speaking of other divisions, yeah. There you go. The DFL divisions, right? So, speaking of divisions, man, how about going around them? Who are you? Who's the next scary division in the AFC? It's got to be this, obviously, the North. Are you guys more worried about facing? Because forget about the Chiefs, man. What about facing someone like the Pittsburgh or the Ravens? Who would you rather see in the playoffs? What do you think of that game yesterday?
I think the teams to worry about in the playoffs are definitely the Chiefs, definitely the Ravens, maybe the Texans. I think if we play the Texans at home,
Really?
I think we got that game, especially since Diggs is out now. Yeah, I think without Diggs, they're a different team, man. Definitely without Nico Collins, they are a different team, man.
Yeah, but he's back, right?
Yeah, we'll see how. Yeah, he's back tonight, so we'll see how they are with him back.
Right.
But I think that game in Buffalo, I'm not super worried about, but they're a great team, man. So yeah, I'm worried about the Ravens, the Chiefs, maybe the Texans. I am worried about the Steelers, man.
That's what I was That's what I was getting to, because I'm probably a little more worried about the Steelers than I would be the Texans right now.
I am.
Tell you the truth.
But you know what? When you know the Steelers, Ravens, it's always that type of game.
That's true.
They always have games like that.
Yeah.
But the Steelers, sure, they have a great defense, but bring that team to Buffalo and against Josh Allen with his home crowd. In our defense with our home crowd, I don't think the Steelers have a chance, man.
Yeah.
But if it's in Pittsburgh,
That's always a fun game. Yeah.
I give it a coin flip, man.
Yeah.
Maybe advantage to the Steelers.
You're right.
Yeah.
All right. What do you think? What do you think there, Tommy?
I think the Steelers are going to be a challenge.
Who'd you rather see in the playoffs, the Steelers or the Ravens,
see
man?
in the playoffs? I tell you the truth, I would rather see them play. I want to say Baltimore, but only because I think Buffalo if they're as hot like they were yesterday, and I know it wasn't like a 300-yard passing and 4 touchdowns and shit like that, but what I mean is focused as far as focused as they were, I believe they can take down Baltimore. I mean, come on. Baltimore's lost 4 games since they played Buffalo. Or 3 games since they played Buffalo. They'd already lost 1, right? And who they're losing to? Other than the Steelers, who have a pretty strong defense, okay? And the Steelers beat them on field goals. It wasn't like they were scoring a lot of touchdowns. So it's, you're really not going to run against Baltimore, but I think Allen can pick them apart a lot better than he's going to pick apart Pittsburgh. So I go with Baltimore in Buffalo. And,
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, let's keep moving on about some of the other games yesterday, man. We're gonna have to probably wrap this episode up here shortly, there, fellas. What else you guys want to go ahead with, man? I mean, I don't have to fucking introduce every goddamn game we talk about.
Now we're gonna get right out of the AFC, because I don't think there's anybody really in the AFC that can challenge Buffalo other than Kansas City, Pittsburgh, and Baltimore. I really don't. Even the ones that get hot.
I think don't sleep on the Texans, man. Don't sleep on the Texans.
I won't, but as I told Will a couple of weeks ago, I think now that
you said the book is out on Stroud, yeah.
Yeah, now that they have the film on him, he's not doing as well as he did last year. And I think it's more than just having a receiver go down. I mean...
On CJ?
Yeah.
Stroud?
I mean, yeah, he's...
You guys aren't scared of the Chargers or...
the Chargers...
or Bengals, but I mean, the Bengals probably aren't going to make it in.
Did you see that game last night?
I saw the fourth quarter.
Well...
I was driving. I saw the fourth quarter.
All right,
yeah.
Well, they started out really hot. Okay?
Yeah, they did.
But then the Bengals came back and shut them down completely. And if the Bengals weren't so messed up, where they had a little bit of more protection for Burrows, he would have won that game. I mean, that poor guy, man, he's under stress all the time.
Well, yeah.
He has no front line.
That's true.
I don't know how they made it back as far as they did, other than with him.
I don't know how they've been struggling with that for so many years, though, too, because I feel like Burrow's been getting beat up his entire career so far.
Bad drafting, bad choices.
Yeah,
I mean, you keep going for wide receivers and running backs.
Positions to fill, yeah.
But you're not giving them anybody to account for it, to help you. Like Buffalo's offensive line.
This will probably be it for me, and I got to run. But I think the NFC is pretty interesting this year, man. There's some good teams. I think the 17 the season ended today. The 7 teams that would get in, are probably the most interesting.
Yeah.
Minus Seattle, because Seattle wouldn't get in.
Right.
But yeah, obviously it's Detroit. You know, they're probably they are the favorite to go to the Super Bowl for the NFC.
Yeah.
But don't sleep on Minnesota, man.
Minnesota or it's Philly.
Well, yeah, Philly's number 2.
Yeah.
And then who you got? You got the who do you got? Atlanta.
Atlanta, but they got
a good record.
They got destroyed by Denver yesterday.
But they are a good team.
Yeah,
I don't know what happened.
Well, what happened yesterday? That was the game I was going to mention, man, because that's my Dirty Birds, and they got embarrassed, man.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to them.
I don't know if the Broncos are looking that good or not.
Everybody does. Well,
that's what I'm saying. I think they are a great team.
Yeah. Just a bad is. Look at the game we played against Houston. I mean,
right.
Houston's a good team this year, but they're not that much better than us. You know, Allen throws 9 passes or something for, what was that? You know, something like that, 18 yards or something. Whatever.
Yeah, but then you got Arizona, you got Minnesota, Green Bay, and you got Washington.
Yeah, Washington.
Well, hey, you guys enjoy your bye week.
Hey, who wins tonight? Who wins tonight?
I'm taking the Cowboys.
Oh, Chucky puts Houston on upset alert.
All right, guys, I got to run.
Take care.
Yes, yeah. Take care, Chucky. And I'll see you later there, Tommy Tomatoes, Doubting Thomas, and Doubting Chuck. Doubts that the Texans can take care of business tonight. I guess we'll see. I think right now, when this is dropping, it was 14-7 they were up. Look, we're going to bring something to you during the bye, so keep your eyes out. You're going to want to be subscribed to this channel. Subscribe. You're going to want to be listening and following the DFL podcast everywhere you can, because there's going to be some different things coming in. I believe video of some sort before the Bills kick off again against the Niners at home Sunday night. Niners. So, yeah, that's it. Like, comment, subscribe. Go. Live your life. Enjoy the next 2 weeks of reveling in the Bills' victory. 9-2, folks. Let's go.
Things are going to start happening to me now.